naka def
yow foo jógee ne
mbaa def la suma tool balaa wari woon
man de man faa tehi man
yaa ngi toog di daa dégg son
man faa tehi di man suma tool bi fa booy baaxatul
xanaa doo dee use engrais fertilizer
man loolu yow bu wuti ko foofu faa tehi dem ca dépôt ba dafa wuti fa sori
gis nga mbayum léegi boo amul fertilizer du baax de engrais kenn jëndeetu ko ci def
boo ko jëlee ci dépôt foo koy amee
kay yaa ngi doog a ñëw xam nga Reliance banque bi ñuy wax Reliance
faa koy dégg waaw
kay gis nga boo demee Reliance ci boppam foofu ngay fayee saako yi nga bëgg nu mu toll nga fay ba pare ñu jox la sa receipt gis nga receipt boobu ñu lay jox moom ngay yóbbu nag ca dépôt ba
kon fu ne ko dem ci dépôt ba te yóbbu la kay doo ko am
déedéet
fu ne su ma jógoon su ma xaalis dem ci dépôt ba dama am
déedéet doo am foog nga dem Reliance fay ba pare
waaw
soo ko dem nag ak sa receipt ca dépôt ba waa Gambia Granite Corporation lii la ñu wax
yow fu ne fa nga jëm ni la
waaw fa laay dem bi
kon kay ni jàmm jox la nga jëndaaleel ma ay yow ma de fi di saako doon yàgg te dama ko xam
maa la ko wax de
boo xàggee jëndaaleel ma
mbokk yi nii lañ ko bëggee waa Gambia Granite Corporation ñu ne saako engrais $700 dong lay jar muy $200 rek yomb na lool daw leen Reliance bu leen gën a jege si PMS tam dañuy jaay comme ni ko Reliance di jaayee boo fa demee dinañ la jaay te engrais bii pour réew mi kese la bëgguñ mu génn réew mi.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulaling. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
A warm welcome to our studios here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Sarah Kamara. In the headlines tonight, Gambia confirms 2 new COVID-19 cases. The Writers Association awards 3 winners on COVID-19 story competition. Media personnel in the country engage in a race. The president of Real de Banjul Football Club, Willie Abraham, construct a football field. And on the international scene, Libya government vows response after base hit by foreign air force. Fire at Iran Natanz nuclear facility caused significant damage. Dozen killed in southern Japan floods. Those were the headlines, and now the news in details. The global pandemic has altered a lot of things in the country due to its increasing nature. On the 17th of March 2020, the first case of the virus was confirmed in the country. However, 2 new cases of COVID-19 have been recently registered, bringing to 57 the number of COVID-19 cases ever confirmed in the country. Dado Cham has rest of the details.
One of the new cases, case 56, is a hitherto probable case, who is epi-linked to confirmed case 49, travel companion from Senegal. Case 57 tested negative for COVID-19 at the commencement of his quarantine period. All but 2 of the 20 laboratory results received turned negative for COVID-19. 117 persons were newly taken into quarantine. 6 new people have been discharged, 2 transferred to the treatment center. The newly quarantined includes 6 high-risk contacts linked to cases 46 and 52. 109 people of the newly quarantined are the new arrivals into the country by an SN Brussels flight. The remaining 2 are individuals who were picked from different locations on account of recently coming from countries where local transmission is ongoing. The country currently has 464 people in quarantine, 28 active and 5 probable. Provide incentive packages and expedite the payment of allowances to response staff. Ensure there is uninterrupted electricity supplied either by the procurement and installation of a solar system or the prevention of a standby generator. Fumigation of the ferries and the ferry terminals, mass testing targeting taxi drivers and other high-risk groups, testing of low-risk contacts at the commencement and end of follow-up. Video clubs should remain closed despite the resumption of Europe's football leagues. Government to come up with a more suitable alternative for quarantine. There should be more security presence at all points of entry around the country to ensure no people are smuggled. Expedite the process of getting all relevant response staff trained on e-surveillance. There is need to engage all relevant ministries and institutions in a bid to come up with modalities and guidelines in allowing truck drivers into the country. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Daro Cham.
The Writers Association of the Gambia, in collaboration with the National Center for Arts and Culture, organized a short story contest on COVID-19. On Friday, at the National Museum, prizes were awarded to 3 people who emerged as best writers in the competition. Maria Madem reports.
Mr. Cherno Omar Bari, the president of the Writers Association, encouraged young writers to never underestimate their efforts and keep writing. He further explained the criteria the judges used to determine the people who wrote the best stories.
How your skill can serve you. You never know when it would be needed. You never know how it will thrive. So you never underestimate your efforts. Keep writing, keep being encouraged. Just to give you a hint, the judges actually, when they look through this, they needed to look through the plot and structure. This is technical, so what I need to share just for you to know. The plot and structure, they need to know what were the mechanics, the language, and the use of imagery that you put in. They needed to know what was the originality and the creativity of your work. And they needed to know also the setting and coherence vis-a-vis the author's perspective, which is reflected in the story. And the other aspect also is that there was an online voting. So these things would culminate into what will bring you the total marks. So it does not mean because you have a lower mark that you are less better than somebody who has a higher mark. It just meant that for some reason, due to the criteria that is put in, yours did not come up. But as I said, every work is of value. The matter is you have put pen to paper, it's of value. That's how I see it. I have been doing literary criticism, I have been reviewing books, I have seen worse writings before in the world, but sometimes the worst writings will come out to be one of the greatest authors. So you never underestimate your effort. So as I said earlier, we want to thank our partners, the National Center for Arts and Culture, our main partner. And I'm very impressed. When I look through the stories, I'm really very impressed.
Mr. Barry also showed excitement and took the opportunity to thank their partners, especially the National Center for Arts and Culture. The winner of the competition was given $3,000, the first runner-up $2,000, and the second runner-up $1,000. Upon receiving their prizes, the winners showed appreciation and thanked the organizers for the great initiative. The event was closed with poetry recitations from the other contestants. Maria Madem, reporting for Star TV News.
On Saturday, the media personnel in the country embarked on a 4-kilometer run from Sting Corner in Joswang to the traffic light in Fajara. The media run challenge was organized to foster unity and harmony among journalists as well as to support female journalists, especially the ones in the rural areas. Jacqueline Colley tells us more.
Keeping fitness is one of the most vital things in ensuring a healthy life, most especially during this pandemic, where most of the sport activities are restricted. Mr. Paul Stephen Pereira, a participant in the run, said the run is not a competition for now, but their main aim and objective is to raise funds and support women in the media who live in the rural areas so that they can further their education in journalism. Mr. Gajaga of QTV also said that he was very excited to participate in the Media Run Challenge and his main aim was to complete the run.
Running, walking, jogging is very important for your health. We have to be fit, we have to be healthy. Yeah.
A participant by the name Fatoumata Seidikan also added that it is very important to do exercise. She said the journalists can't only write and report but can do more. Mr. Musa Sise, the president of the Sport Journalists Association in the Gambia, shed light on the benefits of training to the human body. He said that training is important, especially during this pandemic.
I hope we continue doing this thing to stay healthy, even though it's in COVID period. So I hope we will realize that this is just for our own good, so that we can keep ourselves fit every day. As sports journalists, this is what we should also be doing, even though we're not active sportsmen and women. But to remind ourselves that this is what we're talking about should mean that we should be doing something like this occasionally.
He also urged his colleagues to come and join the subsequent media runs so they can be a family and work together to promote journalism in the country.
Let them come, because there are lots of people who can equally join us. Let them come and join us. Let's be a family. Let's keep encouraging each other. This is something that we should be telling people to be doing, because it's just part of grooming a very healthy life. In sports, our health is our wealth. So we should try as much as possible to keep reminding everyone to get on doing something like this on daily, weekly, monthly basis.
Lamin Bojang also had this to say.
I think it's a very important cause because looking at it as journalists, I think we need to be doing exercise. I think as a journalist, you don't need to be lazy. You need this physical fitness. So I think this initiative is a very good one, and I hope it continues.
After completing the 4-kilometer run, Mr. Sang Mendy, one of the pioneers of the Media Run Challenge, said that the challenge was not only important during this pandemic, but also important for our health. When you do exercise on a daily basis, the likelihood of you contracting non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, and other diseases is very slow. So I encourage everyone in the media to find time and exercise, said Mr. Mendy. He concluded by encouraging all the journalists to start training because by December, there will be another competition.
It will be easy for us, yeah? And then in December, start working as media houses to set up your own running club, because December is going to be a competition between media houses. And also Journalism Training Institute. Managers will be running against managers, editors will be running against editors, producers, editors will run together, and reporters will be running against reporters, and journalism students will be running against each other. So let us start the exercise now against December. Thank you so very much, everyone.
Jacqueline Coley reporting for Star TV News.
The president of Real de Banjul Football Club and his partners are constructing a football field in Basori, Kombo South. He was invited to a sports bantaba program at Star TV, where he explicitly explained their plan for the football field. Dado Cham has rest of that story.
According to the president of Real de Banjul, this is a great opportunity for the Gambians because every day people play football and complain of how poor our football fields are, which is due to lack of infrastructure. So this is a great opportunity because the government cannot provide all for them. This is the reason they found it necessary to come up with this initiative to help the young ones who are interested in football and to educate them as well. Mr. Abraham further explained that they face problems in other places where they paid and were allocated lands which they never had access to, and still those people haven't refunded their monies. They made a request to the government to allocate them land, but still their request isn't granted. So they decided to go all the way to Basori where they had land for this project. He also expressed that this was a project they always dream of implementing. So they have to help one another as a team for this project to be successful, because it is not easy for a single person to do it. And as of now, the project is owned by him and his partners. But no one can exclude Real de Banjul. He said that the team and other clubs can use the field as their training ground because it is a commercial center. This project is a 4-year plan and doors are still open for local institutions to invest in this project, he said. He further said that this project is also meant to stop the young ones from going to back way because it affects them a lot. As a result, many young ones from Real de Banjul who are playing abroad in top leagues cannot be back because they have no power over those clubs. Consequently, those players are denied being part of any football club in the Gambia. In conclusion, he said that they want to use their empty space to grow granite and other trees, which will benefit children. He added that it is also part of their plan to build a school in order to educate children. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Dado Cham.
We're going for a short break and we'll be back with the international news.
Malum ñina wol fo jaxalo wata bay bi ko ko jande ak jibe na fi fo be la be fata fi fo be fata malum be tel ñami jang ha ni nga jam bando ñi ni bari ñi nay fele do ko bala de inu mbara abra inu mbara ni su ko do buga ñamoti ha mo jandi kay ndungi be do ko bala janko mbe do ko walal de bar fenkil nañ jaxal jang nga fem fi jabu ka bete nga fem fi jabu ka bete nga fem fi yang ko jaxal ta fa malum be kel ñaadi de ne jambando soto angare nyeng leo soto yake jang ila soto fengo fam be yiruwara ye jambando ha woto alhamdulillah sa jambando mo soto la nyaadi le sanyi moli abula kata fan kata depo nyinto hani ni futata je depo to sanyi buka wafi de ka kodo ta mo bulu ka boto dila wo bo sanyi wo botale sanyi mimbe kering wolem nyinti ko reliance ibita wolto ye kodo jo reliance ka risitol dila risito nyinga ku matal de wo risito nyi ni adila ika wole samba depo nyintu ne risito di yela jambando soto comme ngi yek mo fu nyami ngamoyle nim fana bodo janko denke mbira jambando sanna GGC wole Gambia Groundnut Corporation wolle be mararen nyin jambando la kola andu ila nyin jang ngalo ne nyin jambando ni yake jang ifa mba fola nyela tumondo bar be jambando kale fana ngajibe nim bodo ya mbita wolto mbita sekolo direct nim tara ye rek be jambando sanna oto mbaɗigol ñewode ñul nadal kana mol dahandi GGC ka jambando data lambole fadala se ceme worwula he ñomo altentu baldi mbati woto nimboru bayta ngata na jambando la ko do jo woto jang msansan sa mbe wutule ngata fo reliance nganna jambando la ko do jo jeto ngana risito ta ngata depo walla ngaji be CPMS katu ñindu la fulol de min suriyata na rek nin tara ngajo je benna jambando sotlag al nimbara bak ala baraka. Hey, alhamdulillah. Nyomu ala tan Dubai. Moro nyina metu abena no sana.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jeja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jeja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gosh Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gosh Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gosh on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gosh Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.goshglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh.
And now news beyond our borders. Libya's UN-recognized government has condemned air raids on a recaptured air base in the west of the country. It says a foreign air force carried out the attack. The loss of the facility in May was among a string of recent defeats for renegade military commander Khalifa Haftar, pushing him out of large parts of western Libya. Haftar launched an offensive to seize the capital Tripoli last year. Al Jazeera's Mahmoud Abdel Wahid reports from Tripoli.
Libya's UN-recognized government has condemned air raids on a recaptured air base in the west of the country. It says a foreign air force carried out the attack. The loss of the facility in May was among a string of recent defeats for warlord Khalifa Haftar, pushing him out of large parts of western Libya. Haftar launched an offensive to seize the capital Tripoli last year. Mahmoud Abdul Wahid has more now from Tripoli.
5 air strikes targeted by unidentified warplanes, but the government here in Tripoli, especially the Deputy Defense Minister, just stated saying that pro-Haftar foreign fighter jets carried out the attacks on Turkish military facilities in Al-Watia air base. That includes an air defense system, according to a pro-Ankara media outlet. We have not reported any comment from the Turkish military as of yet, but only the pro-Ankara media outlets that reported that among the Turkish military facilities in Al-Watia air base targeted by a pro-Haftar fighter jet is an air defense system units. No casualties have been reported, but the Ministry of Defense at the Government of National Accord in Tripoli here says that this attack by pro-Haftar warplanes is trying to send a message to try to disrupt what it calls the victory that has been achieved by the government forces helped by the Turkish military, and especially taking control of western Libya from forces loyal to the warlord Khalifa Haftar.
Iran is now admitting a fire caused significant damage at its Natanz nuclear facility. Its Atomic Energy Organization says the blaze could slow down development to enrich uranium. But Iran is planning to update the facility with more advanced equipment. Al Jazeera's Zaid Basravi reports from Tehran.
What exactly happened at the Natanz nuclear facility last week? It's a question people in Iran and around the world have been asking since a fire was reported at Iran's main uranium enrichment facility on Thursday. A fire incident like this, at the centerpiece of the country's nuclear program, is easily a cause for global concern, but Iranian leaders downplayed the incident. Latest satellite imagery, however, seems to show the scale of the damage, whatever the cause, is bigger than initial reports seemed to suggest. On Sunday, the spokesman of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran confirmed the seriousness of the matter. Speaking to state news, he said enrichment activities continue, but the damage was significant enough to slow some work at the facility.
This incident may create delays in the medium-term plan for the development and production of advanced machines. God willing, we will compensate in such a way that the capacities at the site will be greater than before.
The Natanz nuclear plant has been the target of cyber attacks in the past. At the time, Iran blamed various Western nations and Israel. Iranian investigators say they know what caused the latest incident, but cannot release details due to security concerns. But military leaders have promised to retaliate if sabotage is confirmed. The incident at Natanz happened just days after another explosion at a military base where Iran develops missiles. On June 26th, a gas tank explosion at the Parchin military complex, northeast of the capital, caused a fireball so big some Tehran residents could see it from their homes. On June 30th, a fire and explosion at a medical clinic in North Tehran killed 19 people. On Saturday, a fire broke out at a power station in the western city of Ahvaz, causing partial outages. On the same day, a chlorine gas leak at a petrochemicals plant on the Gulf Coast injured 70 people. These were likely just industrial accidents, perhaps triggered by rising summer temperatures. But the fire at the Natanz nuclear complex happened in the backdrop of serious incidents that have rattled the country in recent weeks. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
At least 34 people are believed to have been killed in southern Japan as torrential rain and severe flooding continues across several Asian countries. Nearly half of the victims in the Komoto region were living in a nursing home. Al Jazeera's Salah Khaira reports.
It's a challenging task for these emergency workers in southern Japan. The risk of more mudslides is high on the island of Kyushu. A trail of destruction can be seen from the air. There's more torrential rain and severe flooding in the weather forecast for the next few days. Weather conditions are hampering rescue efforts in the worst hit areas, Kumamoto and Kagoshima. Half of those killed or missing since Sunday had been living in elderly care homes. And after the Kuma River burst its banks, transporting people to safety by boat is a difficult and dangerous job. On Sunday, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe set up a special task force to tackle the crisis and has deployed 40,000 military personnel to help with the rescue efforts.
People in the area are required to continue to be on maximum alert. With regards to self-defense forces, please prepare to dispatch 10,000 personnel for further emergency support. Please do this so that you are able to respond swiftly and adequately.
75,000 people have been warned to leave their homes ahead of the floods. Japan's meteorological agency says the rainfall is the worst it has ever recorded in the region. In China, people are bracing themselves for more flooding. Weeks of some of the heaviest rain seen in decades has killed more than 100 people. Millions of lives, homes and businesses have all been affected, especially in the south.
We have dispatched over 50 people to help drain water. We have also dispatched mobile pumps to areas severely affected by the flood. We are now making all-out efforts to prevent further flooding from water draining into urban areas.
And these homes along the water in India's financial capital Mumbai are dangerously close to being flooded. July is usually the wettest month during the monsoon season, but this year nearly a month's worth of rain has fallen in just the past 5 days. More than 1 million people have been affected by flooding in northeastern India. Many of them have lost their homes.
The water level is increasing over here. Fishing is also banned, so we don't want any loss of life. That is why we request the authorities to come here and see what is going on and what is not.
Across Asia, emergency services are overstretched while also dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. And with more rain expected in some areas, the coming few days may prove even more difficult. Sara Khairat, Al Jazeera.
And before we end the news, a recap of our main headlines. The global pandemic has altered a lot of things in the country due to its increasing nature. On the 17th of March 2020, the first case of the virus was confirmed in the country. However, 2 new cases of COVID-19 have been recently registered, bringing to 57 the total number of COVID-19 cases ever confirmed in the country. The Writers Association of the Gambia, in collaboration with the National Center for Arts and Culture, organized a short story contest on COVID-19. On Friday, at the National Museum, prizes were awarded to 3 people who emerged as best writers in the competition. On Saturday, the media personnel in the country embarked on a 4-kilometer run from String Corner in Joswang to the traffic light in Fajara. The Media Run Challenge was organized to foster unity and harmony among journalists as well as to support female journalists, especially the ones in the rural areas. The president of Real de Banjul Football Club and his partners are constructing a football field in Basuri, Kombo South. He was invited to a sports bantamweight program at Star TV where he explicitly explained their plans for the football field. On the international scene, Libya's UN-recognized government has condemned air raids on a recaptured airbase in the west of the country. It says a foreign air force carried out the attack. The loss of the facility in May was among a string of recent defeats for renegade military commander Khalifa Haftar, pushing him out of large parts of western Libya. Iran is now admitting a fire caused significant damage at Natanz nuclear facility. Its Atomic Energy Organization says the blaze could slow down development to enrich uranium, but Iran is planning to update the facility with more advanced equipment. At least 34 people are believed to have been killed in southern Japan as torrential rain and severe flooding continues across several Asian countries. Nearly half of the victims in the Komoto region were living in a nursing home. That's all for this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you.